What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer / seducer, Nick Scarpino.
That's a cool shirt you're wearing.
It is a cool shirt.
What is it for?
GCW, Game Changer Wrestling. I got it out at WrestleMania when I went to that midnight show with Fuego del Sol.
That's sick.
I figured by the style of it and the fact that it was 3 letters that it had something to do with wrestling.
You know, I feel like...
Making love.
That's good. You got that. No, I feel like, I cleaned up at some point where the t-shirts went from being so wrestling focused in high school, college, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To then just being nerdy, fun wiener dog things and Superman to Mizzou, a lot of Mizzou. We are so firmly back in the wrestling shirt era.
Yeah.
That I don't know if you've noticed, and I know you have because you notice everything in this place.
Yeah.
I had Jen was like, you got to stop. Because every this is awesome. I get a new wrestling shirt, right?
Yes.
She's like, you got to stop. There's so many shirts here, and I had to bring a grocery bag full of shirts and put them in the costume closet and says Greg's WWE shirts.
Yeah.
Because there's some. They're not an everyday shirt.
No.
All right, this isn't an everyday wrestling
special
shirt.
one.
You know what I mean?
This is a Sunday wrestling shirt.
Yeah, this
for
is a
Sunday
special
church.
one. This is when they want me to wear something on purpose.
I know that something was up this morning when Roger came in and it was like, hey, did you see that SmackDown or whatever it was? And you guys started talking and my brain just went, ooh, but like just this audio just blanked out. For me.
Now my thing is that I've never had that like WWE phase, but now I'm getting there. Anytime I go to a thrift store or any type of flea market, I always find the 1 or 2 Raw shirts or whatever it is from 2005, and I'm like,
grabbing them?
I'm grabbing them. I'm grabbing them, but it's like it's becoming an issue where it's like it's becoming like a sizable amount of my graphic tees, which is that's
Do
a
you
lot.
pay $200 a piece?
Yeah, I was going to
for
say,
them?
you
Like,
don't have to look at the thrift stores. You could do the Snowbike Mike route and buy them for $230.
That is true. But no, I'm paying $20 at most. $20 at most.
I just love the aesthetic of the old school wrestling shirt.
Sure.
It's very nostalgic, even though I never have a touchstone for it.
You can see with the older wrestling shirts the seeds that would become the entire Affliction brand. You know what I mean? And what it would do to UFC.
Yes. It's god awful. But awesome at the same time, And now like the new not the new offshoots, but like those shirts where it's like like we put Roger's picture, 5 different versions of Roger's picture with like some eagles and shit behind it. That's kind of like the vibe.
I've been really into every time I go to like a thrift store, I really want to get like the shirts that are like the wolves, like in the nature.
Howling, dude.
I love that stuff. I can
have-
never pull it out because it usually
I bought-
comes in double XL and it's white. I can't do that.
I bought one time. I bought it in large.
So
it was
sick.
black. It was a black blank T-shirt with wolves howling at the moon on it. And after one wash, it became cardboard.
Yeah.
It was so scratchy and stiff to wear that I had to throw it out.
Yeah.
It was hot.
But it's so
because the fabric's not real cotton. I don't know what the hell they're making it out of.
Wolf.
But it's just it was wolf. It's actual wolf hair.
There's nothing more depressing than having a t-shirt you love and then you wash it and then it doesn't fit right ever again.
Never.
I hate that when you get I had that Helldivers shirt. That's and I still have it.
The Gary Whitta one?
Oh no, that one's a piece of trash. That's Gary Whitta merch. I'm talking about the one with the yellow sleeves and the held and the yellow.
You got that recently, right?
Yeah. But it's an insert coin one, so it's a UK XL. I don't know if you know this. In the UK, they don't get bigger than maybe a medium.
No, they don't.
Like they just don't know.
They don't
what
make
it's like
them
to
that
be
small people over in the UK.
a well-chested American. Okay, they don't know what that's like. They don't know what it's to be like rotund.
You just refer to yourself as a well-chested American?
I did
like
do that.
that.
You know what I mean?
Well-chested.
And so I
heard
it
that
wore
phrase.
it, and I think did I ask you about it? I asked somebody here about it. I'm like,
Did it
am
look-
I pulling it? Oh no, I
Yeah.
actually asked Jen and the nanny. I was
Yeah.
like, am I pulling this off? Does this look all right? They're like, yeah, sure. What, you crazy? I don't notice the difference. I'm like, I feel the difference.
You
So
feel a
it's
little
been
tighter.
washed, and now it's there, and it's a little scary. I look.
Oh,
at
you
it,
haven't
I'm
tried it
like,
on?
No, I don't want. Right now, it's Schrodinger's cat. Could fit, could not. I don't know.
Fit, yeah.
Perfect.
Definitely
Put it
is.
up on the wall.
And I'll tell you what. Like don't show the bad shirts.
No.
You know what I mean?
Don't show that.
Gary Whitta.
He's so happy.
Love
in
him
that
and
photo.
leave him Whitta. They call us.
Yeah,
I've never
they
seen
do.
him more happy than when he's slocking his own stuff. When he's just like, "Hey, here's my new thing that I got." He's just so
and
happy.
the funny thing is, he's not happy. Like he's faking it.
Yeah.
He looks happy.
That's true.
Gary's
Yeah.
never happier than when he's in a Taco Bell. That's Gary.
That's true.
I don't think I've ever seen Gary smile.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
He comes here a lot, and I ask him how he's doing, and he's never doing well.
There was a solid. There was a solid.
accurate.
There was a solid 2 years that I think he didn't know my name, but I think there's a 50-50 chance he might not know my name.
He has to dig deep for my name. Because you know how people look at you and go,
Yeah.
Roger, right?
Yep.
That's what he does to me every single time he comes in here. And I don't blame him. He's here like once every couple months, like in person.
I wouldn't choose myself like I just met him for the first time. You know what I mean? It wasn't helping the case, but just in case.
Well, again, he's here so rarely, and you keep losing so much weight.
Yeah,
You're doing that Wuzzy Woolly thing, right? Where's the hair? Nobody knows.
Woolly?
Yeah.
Who dat?
Remember him? Andy would if Andy came.
If
to work,
only Andy was
nobody
here.
comes to work anymore. He's the one Fuzzy Woolly, the one where you get it was the magnetized shitty gift from like the grocery store where you move like the magnetized clippings around.
Wow. I did not know that had
I just knew the mustache one where you like put the.
There you go.
Oh, okay,
Woolly
that is
Willy.
him. Okay,
I apologize.
Whoa.
I didn't mean to.
I know
Wooly Willy, I know. Of course. Yeah, sorry. That's wild.
Okay, wow.
Of course, he's the lock. He's Roger Picorni.
What up, everybody?
Not much. How you
What
doing?
up, gamers? Do you I've been eating these goldfish. Thank you so much, Nick, for providing these
Thank
goldfish.
you,
Win.
whoever provided. I think
It was Joey. It was Joey. But you opened up the bag for me, which I appreciated.
crushed it.
And I was talking about this on the
To be
stream.
clear, you wouldn't open the bag on your own, right?
No, I wouldn't. I looked at it.
permission.
I looked
You're
at
like
it.
a fucking vampire. You need to be invited into the room.
I saw it, and then I saw Nick putting it away. I was like, oh, he was brave enough. He was a brave enough soldier. To open it up.
And you know what's funny is actually we should probably label that because it's one of those 2-packs that you get from Costco. So the outside, the big box says goldfish, but inside it's just cellophane wrapped like bags.
Yeah.
And we're going to forget what it is because there's already another one that's behind it that I think has been there for a long time.
Oh,
who the hell knows what it is?
Gotcha. But
I don't know.
I was talking about this on the stream that what I do with my goldfish is I put them in my mouth and I kind of just let them
Suck 'em.
kind of suck on them.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
suck on 'em.
kind of mush.
Soften them up.
Yeah. What's like freak nasty stuff do you do with food that you don't tell anybody?
Twix.
Oh, what do you do
know
with
what I
some
mean?
Twix?
You eat the
Yeah,
top
let me
off.
know.
I like to bite it, but do it all in my mouth.
Right?
It's like, you know what I mean? Like a crocodile, and they're spinning it around until it's just the cookie or whatever.
I do.
Right?
Exactly.
I love that you had it. I love that you
yeah.
had it
Well,
immediately.
you set me up. I'm like, that's a weird thing to do with a goldfish, but with a Twix bar. You know what I mean?
That's
The other
normal.
Whoppers. Remember Whoppers?
Yes, I suck on those too.
Yeah, me and Poe loved Whoppers, so it'd be like I would bite into it and then like let my saliva dissolve the inside.
Oh, you bite into it. I don't even bite. What I do is I suck on them and then I just let the roof of my mouth just get destroyed.
Yeah.
And then I just get it fall apart right there.
I like to. I suck the salt off the goldfish, and then I like to make it so that they're like kind of soft and then mealy, like malleable, you know. And then you kind of just mash it into a mush and swallow it.
Oh, we're
When I was
exactly
a
the same.
kid,
Then.
Super
you know,
easy.
when
Love
I would get ice cream as a dessert, like at home while we're watching TV,
Yeah.
I would
some
like
people
to
do.
let it melt a bit and
Yeah.
then really whip it into like a porridge.
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like not a soup. I didn't want it melted,
like
but
a
I want to be
goulash.
malleable for some reason.
Yeah.
Did you ever put it in the
goulash or
microwave? You
No,
ever try
come
that?
on,
I
I'm
don't know.
not
Ex did
psycho.
that, and I was like, I should probably break up with you. That's crazy. That's some crazy
That's
behavior right there.
so
For other
so
behaviors, too.
I have microwaved like the pint if it's
Yeah.
really really hard
Rock
because I don't
hard.
want to like fuck my wrist up trying to get in it.
That's what you're worried about?
Oh yeah, you know, like
Nick, what happened to your wrist? Is that a jujitsu? Is it? No, I couldn't get the Haagen-Dazs.
No, you know, you want it to be easily scoopable. So
Sure.
I throw it in there for like 10 seconds.
Okay.
Sometimes if it's too crazy, if it's a little cray cray.
All right.
Getting
That's
a
cool.
little
That's
loose,
fun.
Getting a little loose with
I
the
like that. loose.
You get that ice cream loose too.
Oh man, every now and again we have to stop ourselves because delivery fees are so outrageous. But every now and
Terrible.
then we get the urge for salt and straw, and then you get into you're like, okay, the delivery fee is so expensive
Yeah.
that you have to make it worth your while. So you have to order like 3 or 4 pints of this shit.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'm going to eat if I get a pint of salt and straw, I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I feel sick to my stomach. I'm not lactose intolerant, because I'm just not. Unfortunately, it'd be nice if I was, but.
Just built
I'll
differently.
get through. I mean, I'm just, I was gonna shoot some strays.
Alpha male.
I was gonna shoot some strays at people who are lactose intolerant, but I chose not to. I waved off. I'm gonna be a better man today.
Oh, wow.
I
Today.
like that. I like that. I'm glad you waved that off.
Starting today.
Roger, how good's this beer?
It's nice beer. I like it.
Shout out to Ryan McCaffrey.
Yeah.
For coming over today, filming some stuff with us, and bringing Mother Earth Brewings. And it's got possibly one of the worst names I've ever heard for a beer. So Nitro. That's the whole thing for how you do it, right?
Lazy
But
was my
Nitro Cali Creamin'.
It's hot.
You don't
Because
really.
it's a vanilla cream beer,
Yeah.
which I'm not a flavored beer fan, but
Yeah.
it's really just the foam. It's
Yeah,
almost
it's very
like,
subtle, too.
It's almost like drinking when I go to Starbucks and I get the iced coffee with the pumpkin foam lot at the top.
Sure.
Where it's like it's not all pumpkin, but I get that hit of it. And it's great.
Yeah,
and
that's
this
right.
is this is such a smooth drinking beer. Goddamn, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Cali Creamin', not like we could have workshopped that name just a little bit more.
California creaming.
Because Creamin', like, but let's. They have to know, right?
Like, no.
That the white foam on top
They
is what the
know.
cream is. They gotta know.
They
right?
know.
And this suggestive picture of this lady just
She's just drinking.
chugging
Guzzling
down
it.
this cream. I mean,
Cali
cream
and vanilla
what are
cream
we
ale.
doing
Our
here?
flagship offering is golden to pale in color with low bitterness, medium body, and a white head. Our cream ale has redefined the category and made a classic style cool again. We use a bit of here we go. Use a bit of Madagascar vanilla bean to give it that cream soda kick. This beer finishes dry despite a subtle perceived sweetness from the vanilla. Great any time of year.
It's one of the best beers I've had in a minute. Because like I'm not like I'm a beer person, but like I refuse to be a beer person, if that makes sense.
I
like
love being a beer person.
I don't know the differences between any of the things. I just know I like hazy IPAs, and that's pretty much it. Like
Okay.
So like I like beers.
You're
I just
not a
don't,
beer person, but you like the most pungent,
yeah.
thick beer you could possibly.
But I don't like
No,
those
that's
stouts.
not
I tried a stout once,
Stouts.
and that was a fucking mistake.
That's the cream, the ice cream. My ice cream porridge. That's a stout.
But like but the IPAs to me
Yeah.
are always the ones that just like it smells like weed. It smells
Sure.
so much
Hops.
like hops.
God, I
and
love
when
it.
you drink it, it's so abrasive that I always think that this has to be the most like abrasive of beers.
Well, here's the thing.
like Tim likes IPAs too, and I'm like, but you don't like anything else? It's weird.
When I was younger and making less money, I was trying to min-max my beers, right? So I would go to go get a 9%, 10% beer and then just be like,
wow.
oh, I just
Sours?
yeah, exactly. Just getting so fucked up off these two beers. I would get two.
Just pops a Bud Light and pours fucking Jameson into it. He's like, here we go, this is my beer.
I would just have those two, and then I'd just be like, oh, that's it. That's all the
thing's
beer I
great.
need. Yeah, it's good.
This is a really
Really
good-
nice
Tell
beer.
you what,
Really
man,
nice beer.
I drank entirely too much bourbon this weekend.
Really? What'd
yeah?
you do?
Entirely too. I was at Punchline all weekend, filming for Rosebud Baker and hanging out there, which is really cool. But I just forget that when you hang out with comics, inevitably you're gonna drink bourbon. And I did I haven't drank more than like one night in a row in a really long time. And I went straight out from like I think it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just
Wow.
ripping one or
Jesus.
two here and there.
Living it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Living that
Then I went
dream.
to we did the whole thing. I had a bourbon and then we went to Halal Guys. Have you ever been to this place?
Oh yeah, of course.
Motherfucker. My first time.
Wow, really?
Holy shit. Well, I've always been a Nick the Greek guy. You know,
Dude,
I've become
great.
loyal.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to Halal Guys.
I don't mean to talk shit.
Oh, here we go.
Nick the Greek sucks. We
Wow,
gotta
fuck
fix
off.
Nick the Greek.
Fuck off.
We gotta
What
stop.
don't you like about Nick the Greek?
I mean, you've had halal guys. Come on, Nick. Come on, it's another level, dude. You can't be eating Nick the Greek again.
So as far as like fast food Mediterranean style Greek fare, Halal Guys kind of dunks on Nick the Greek. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, but I do like Nick.
No
the Greek
one's
a lot.
arguing that.
I do like Nick the Greek.
Halal guy wings are great too.
Oh, I didn't know
You know
that.
what? Here's what I like about Halal Guys.
Tell me.
You walk in, Nick the Greek, a little confusing. Every time I order what I think I'm supposed to order, it's always something different.
Interesting.
So I think to myself, I think I usually get the Euro like salad, and it's not. It's the wrong thing every single time. So that's me for not paying
Get
attention.
the Euro
whatever.
bowl, right?
I usually get the Euro bowl, I think, but then you have to order a certain way, so it comes
Yeah,
whatever.
too much rice, you know.
I go to Halal Guys, you get 3 choices: Euro, the salad, like the bowl basically, or the wings. That's pretty much all you can order.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so much better. And they give you a packet of white sauce.
Oh, the white
my
sauce,
god, it's so
That
so
white sauce
caloric.
is crazy,
I
dude.
feel like halal guys, and I think I only really know halal guys. I've never walked in one. I think I only know it from delivery.
Yeah.
And it's always struck me as much more bootstraps. Whereas Nick the Greek is the
Nick the Greek's like a
San
corporate-
Francisco.
Yes.
We're
They got their shit together. The stores look the same. Halal Guys, I was like, this is like 1 second away from imploding.
yeah.
That's how it felt.
Yeah,
And
but
that's gonna
that's
make
that's
sense.
how
But
all of them
also
are in
'cause
New York
it's in-
too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
They're all street stuff. So.
I mean, to be fair, it's near the like Union Square area
Yeah.
of San Francisco, and every store there feels like it's one step away from imploding.
Sure.
So
The whole
whatever.
district is.
Pretty much.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
We got big news to talk about. Before we do that, I'll remind everybody that this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4, sometimes 3 best friends gather on this table, each coming to hang out and talk to each other about whatever it is they want to talk about. If you want to hang out with us, get that Kind of Funny membership. Of course, you get the joy and good karma from supporting. You like that?
I haven't done that in a while.
I'm feeling it today.
I think I got that from
my
you.
second vanilla beer of the day. I'm ready to rock. You
There
know what
it
I mean?
is. Recap juice.
And also, while we're here, let's just talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Thank God we didn't do it. Because me and Nick, of course, are the assholes. You know that well.
Yeah, of course.
But we're also
Is there a new
probably. You know what that is?
Yeah, I see it.
It's an asshole.
Yeah, it's moving.
Not only are we the
asshole,
assholes, we're probably the nicest guys at Kind of Funny in
Oh.
terms of how we think about other people and put them first.
Yeah.
But we're also incredibly busy and lazy. And so there had been a quick conversation between me and Nick that was a Slack. Nick, I'm so busy, I can't really do it. So you need to plan Tim's bachelor party. Because when Tim's like, I'm not having a bachelor
Not
party.
doing it,
We
Tim.
made
We
a
don't
joke
do
on the
things like
show.
that, yada,
We'll do it
yada.
on the show. We'll do a show. And Nick's like, yes, great idea. We'll do it, and it'll be all the bachelor party things in one Kind of Funny podcast.
That's funny.
And when I sent it and I said, Nick's got this, I also was like, you know, if I was a betting man, Tim won't show up to the Kind of Funny podcast the week of his wedding. He'll
Yeah.
be too busy with wedding stuff. And here we could have done it. We could have had Curran here, James Burke, you know what I mean? Vin Diesel. I don't know.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Vinny D.
Shots, darts.
The thing is, like,
strippers, we get into this whole thing, and then
that's my thing.
Tim would have been like, I can't go.
See, I would have gone way too over.
Clap like a gorilla.
I gotta do. This was soft hands. I see. My problem is
You
this.
seen
Like,
it? You know it's too
It's
accurate.
very accurate. I see the beanie. I see it.
you and I have been pushing up against the limits of what old Uncle Tim, what his
he's on
comfort
ropes.
level is with. Well, I'm just mean humor wise.
Oh, well, for years, yeah.
The Daredevil thing
showed
was
something.
a watershed moment.
It
for
showed
us.
something.
It
yeah.
really did. And I think Tim, in his brain, he laughs at it. But you can see in the back of his brain, he's like, this still could have some ramifications that could hurt this company in
Yeah.
perpetuity.
He starts doing the lip thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, I don't know. So when you slacked me that, I remember like a week ago, and I was like, should we try to plan something? But we've been pretty busy helping Tim plan the wedding. And A, B, he doesn't want this.
You even we're seamstress in Gia's dress.
I'm making it, handmade.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, out of lace and doilies. And so I thought about it, but then I started thinking, I'll spend a few minutes, and I spent a few minutes brainstorming about it. And all of my creative energies went to just so many dark places.
Sure.
Where I was like, I don't think Tim would enjoy this as much as Greg and I, and probably Roger, because you're one of
I
us
would
now,
love this.
would enjoy
You're an
putting him
asshole.
through it.
You're a mini asshole.
Oh, I'll
Maybe he
take
can
it.
be a hemorrhoid.
Like, oh.
That's what we call our
Yes.
fans. I don't know if you know that. You want
Yeah.
to be a hemorrhoid?
They call him the roids. You want to be a roid?
You want to be a roid? with
I'll
us?
be a roid.
All
I'll
right,
be a
good.
roid.
Honorary roid right there.
We call him push bubbles.
Why? Why do you always have to push it one more?
Push bubble.
Just one more.
I thought strippers.
Course.
I thought whatever illicit drugs we could possibly get here.
Sure.
I thought dance party. I thought everyone has to do shots, and we cram all that in like 45-minute
Bender
thing.
of a podcast.
But then even there's 3 red flags right there for Tim, right? Even the idea of having a stripper come here, even anecdotally, I think would make Tim super uncomfortable. Yeah. Not because of the trade or anything. We fully support that. Just because Tim in general just does not go in for anything of that nature whatsoever.
No.
So
Sucks, dude.
but yeah,
Sucks.
Tim, Kevin and I were talking about his bachelor party when we went shooting, and how Tim was like, I'm going to abstain from this. And I was like, okay, so as my brain goes, we bring guns into the studio. Let's have that happen.
Holy shit.
I think I abstained from shooting.
Have you ever shot
I
a
think
gun?
Tim did too.
No, I've shot guns. But,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Yeah.
if I'm going to pick up a gun and shoot it, I'm killing somebody. It's the only
Too
time I shoot the
powerful.
gun, right? If I pick up the gun, somebody's going down. All right?
Yeah, exactly.
Never an animal.
No.
Just the most dangerous animal, man. You know what I mean?
The dangerous hunt.
Yeah,
I like that.
exactly.
Well, we didn't. We can still call this his bachelor party episode if you
Oh
want.
man, we should have done that. That would have been even better.
Let's do it. Fuck it.
No, I mean, but now we would have had to have party favors and hats.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
Donkey
speeches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good point.
You speaking at the wedding? What are you gonna say? You gonna get up there?
I got nothing. I don't think I was invited. I think I'm going to be behind the camera. I don't think I was
You're
invited to the
not.
wedding.
Invited to the wedding.
I think I'm running the speeches and you're not on the list.
Yeah, I'll
unfortunately.
be
But
fine.
you know what? You can always old school it and just come up and take the mic out of my hands. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, you will. You might give it to me.
I'll fucking
Halfway
Yeah,
through.
It stops there. It starts.
It starts
here.
right here. If you want, it's gonna all depend on how fucking glazed over your eyes are with how much bourbon I make you drink. And if you're really sauced and you want to talk about like some crazy dark shit,
Yeah.
you want to get conspiracy theory with me, I will give that mic to you.
We might share the mic.
I'll hold one and you hold the other.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have that technology. 2 mics.
2 hands.
Oh, I like
Like a
that.
lightsaber.
I like that.
Yeah.
You can be part of the conversations with your Kind of Funny membership. Of course, with the Kind of Funny membership, you support us, an 11-person small business all about live talk shows. Of course, you get each and every episode of all of our shows ad-free. You get the ability to watch live as we record them, just like Stitch Assassin Alchemist is, Murders with Mertens, a horror film podcast is, and of course, Mike L is.
What do we feel like the background behind Stitch, Assassin Alchemist is? Where do you think they got that name from?
I bet they like...
Lilo
That-
and Stitch.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
I see that.
Full Metal Alchemist is where I was going to go.
I'm
See-
guessing, but then what's Assassin?
No, this seems like
Assassin's
like
Creed.
a Wu-Tang name generator for
Oh,
sure.
yeah?
Yeah.
You
You
got
think
to
it's a bot?
appreciate the comment here from Stitch, Assassin Alchemist. 4 Locos destroyed the middle class.
It really did. My first drink when I was 21 years old was
No.
a 4 Loco seltzer. The worst drink I've ever had in my life, and I think I almost threw up a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, that's bad.
That was bad.
That's
That
gonna
was
be
bad.
real bad.
That was
for
bad.
You should have had a Zima. That was my introduction.
Zima?
Zimas used to be.
What's a Zima?
Yeah, I know.
I thought you were talking about Zin.
Old as hell.
Yeah,
all
you
right,
got
it's
it.
fucking Fleischman. All right, and he's got the stupid hat every day. It's a fedora. That's what it was, a Zima.
That didn't help me at all. Is it a beer?
Zima was a malt liquor.
Okay.
They came in little bottles. They tasted delicious. And for whatever fucking reason, probably because your stupid generation thought they were dumb. And
my generation.
Boomer drinks.
I think it was me and Nick's generation that actually put Zima out of business. But yeah.
Oh,
whatever.
these fuckers. Yeah.
They're so fucking good. And we used to play a game at parties where you'd was it? No, it wasn't Zima. It was Smirnoff Ice.
Ice.
Yeah.
But it's very similar to Smirnoff
No,
Ice.
we would do that too.
You'd ice people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We
we
would
used
do
to,
that.
yeah, that was fun.
We should ice Tim at his wedding during his vows.
Oh, he would love that.
How much
He loves good humor.
He loves us.
with the amount of stuff Tim has planned for this, do you think he's actually going to enjoy any of it?
No, not at all.
Yeah, because he keeps telling me things. Tim has that tendency where he's just like he wants this thing to be epic, and
I'm gonna have a great time.
but without me helping him plan any of this stuff, I'm worried that he's going so far overboard that
You're not there to stop him. You're usually the restrictor plate.
I'm always the one that's like, hey, you can't do that thing because we don't have the capability to do that. But without me, I'm just worried that it's going to be just. I think he's gonna die. I think he's just going to be like working up until the bitter. I think he's going to be like exporting a video as he's walking up the aisle.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And
That's
I'm just like, I'm like, you don't need to go that far over because I know Tim. He always shoots for 200% when 80% will do.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Kevin,
That's
are
the beauty
you
of
worried about Tim enjoying this wedding at all?
No, fuck him. You know what I mean?
Weddings are for the living. You know what I mean?
True. It's a good point. It's a
Great
good point.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can get all that alongside the Greg Way, my daily video vlog and podcast series, all with your Kinda Funny membership, either on youtube.com/kindafunnygames or patreon.com/kindafunny. Of course, if you have no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. You can get the Kinda Funny podcast services, youtube.com/kindafunnygames for free with ads. No big deal. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Nathan Lamoth, Karen Lindener, Fargo Brady, Alex J. Sandoval, James Hastings, Casey Andrew. Today we're brought to you by the Kinda Funny Pride merch, but we'll talk about that later. What are you giggling at?
Cooper Fuqua, it was just explaining to people what getting iced was. And you see it in writing and you think, what the fuck were we thinking back then? The idea of
What do you mean back then? It still happens.
It still happens.
I saw something on TikTok at Ice. They cutting their cake. and there was
Icing does still happen, yeah.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome that still happens. For people who don't know, you would just hide Smirnoff Ice's places, and if one of your buddies found it,
Just walk up, boom.
we used to have to hide it. Like, you put it in someone's pocket, and they'd reach in their pocket and find it, like, ah!
Oh, that's
and then
cool.
you'd have
That's
to sit
actually
down
way
and chug it.
cooler.
Yeah,
That's
that is
way
way
better than
cooler.
Can't be just fucking handing it
our
to people.
dumbasses.
Literally just be handed to him. Yeah, that's how I did
Like, you're iced. It's like, I'm already drinking. Like,
Yeah,
thanks,
what
a
the fuck
free
I want.
beer. I
Yeah,
guess?
I'd be like, hey, can you go grab me a cooler
Oh,
from the
that's
beer,
good.
or a beer from the cooler, and you'd open the cooler, and it would just be one ice sitting there,
That's
and you have to
good.
fucking
that's
chug
good.
it.
You guys
Yeah.
are creative back
That's
in the
it.
day.
You got creative.
Unlike our generation, Greg.
Dude, we
we didn't have TikTok. We didn't have anything to look at.
Exactly. We have this short attention span, me and Roger, because we're so young. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's got to be instant gratification. So it's
Yeah,
just like,
you're both so young. We're both all gray on this side, but that's genius.
That's smart.
That's fucking
That's
no,
genius.
smart.
don't get me wrong. Like
I'm not chugging that. But it's
audience
genius.
members, if you're a
There's
podcaster,
saran
Yeah,
wrap.
there's saran wrap. That's pretty good.
sure. Kevin,
There's still
look
dick
at the
and ass particles on
McDonald's.
that.
So it's a toilet. It's a toilet saran wrap, so it's not into the bowl, but there's the seat, and then it's
That's
the
where your
Smirnoff
caca
Ice.
goes.
Dick
right
and
there.
ass.
Still like look at the trash can there with the McDonald's
charette?
cup in the bathroom. Like that's a
Fucking
college
disgusting.
bathroom, maybe first apartment after college. It's filthy.
That's gross. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
touching
but it's like the drink also is like closed. You know what I mean? It's fine.
I would do that if that was like placeholder and somebody handed me a fresh.
I'll tell you, I like to think that I'm God's gift to America.
You are.
Thank you. That means a lot
You're
to me.
you're
And
our version of the Eiffel Tower.
I appreciate that. I, of course, have gotten much better with the whole germophobia kind of thing. And I'm not like,
Oh, I didn't know this part of you.
I'm not like OCD or
Sure.
like, but I mean, I'm still very much like wash my hands, like eat pizza. You've seen me a million times, right?
Yeah,
if
I think you've
if I'm
rubbed
at a
off on
convention and I do break and I can't wash my hands, I'm wrapping something in a paper towel and eating it
Makes
that way.
sense.
Like, when we got that Toto's pizza for the first time, I was in there eating it. People are like, does Greg not like the crust? I'm like, no, but my hands aren't clean, so I have to put the crust on. Anyways, I've gotten so much better with Ben because, of course, this is a kid. This is a toddler.
This
He's
is what they're
picking
for.
everything up and
Yep.
everything. It's still
good for their
nails on a
immune system.
chalkboard right now when we have our poop parties at night, where he sits
funny.
on the toilet and then grabs the sides of the toilet. And I'm like, I know we cleaned it, but I'm still like, oh God, fucking Jesus
When he
Christ.
grabs the side of the toilet, just the bowl itself, the porcelain itself.
Well, I mean, he's on the seat, so sometimes his little fingers are underneath the seat or on the side of the toilet and all that. Just and it's just,
Oh, I see.
it grosses me out.
Yeah. The underside of any, like the under part of the toilet you can't see is the most disgusting
No.
part of
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So gross.
Roger,
Hi, Greg.
again, I like to think I'm God's gifts to fathers.
Yeah,
you know what I
we've
mean? To
confirmed this.
boys, to children,
Confirmed.
to America.
You're my
Would
daddy.
you like to guess how I help Ben go to the bathroom in a public restroom? Just number one.
How
Do you sing
pick
to
him
him?
up or something?
I'm asking you to guess.
How you pick? I assume you pick him up, right?
I would like you to guess.
That's the guess. That's the guess. How much deeper do you need me to get?
I mean, so what do you think?
show
You
us?
think I'm
Can you
doing
stand
like
up
this?
And show us? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, when we get there.
No,
yeah.
no. I was saying Roger.
okay.
Can Roger show us what he thinks it looks like?
Are we talking a urinal you're at or no?
Usually there's just toilets. The gender neutral is a big deal. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So he needs to go poop or
Just number one,
pee-pee?
he's pee-pee.
Oh, okay. I think what you do is you do the same thing my brother does to me every once in a while, where you go to the urinal, just drop your pants completely.
Again, it's not a urinal, but you know what I mean.
I mean, I pick him up, kind of like that, maybe.
So where is under armpits there? Or what are we doing?
Like kind of by his legs, maybe even if you need to. I don't.
Wait, so what is here?
His torso.
Okay.
You're kind of like
So I'm holding him over
Yeah,
the toilet like
yeah.
a sacrificial guy.
Do you guys want me to get Annabelle?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we get Annabelle
Yeah,
in here?
yeah, that'd be
Where's
great.
Throw me on
Annabelle?
the doll.
Is she in the merch closet? I would probably guess. Because it's that thing where I feel like there's a lot of things.
he's like air planking, kind of. Yeah.
There's a lot of things natural about parenting,
Mm.
natural about being a dad. You know what I mean? That I'm great at. Let me tell you, this kid wants to wrestle. I'm wrestling. You know, I'm having great. We're playing cards. I'm doing this. You know what I mean? And again, like I've talked about it before. Of like, as and I, you know, I don't want to gross people out because I know some people are so shy to all this stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Like when he was having spit up problems and getting sick and stuff. You know what I mean? Again, throwing up. You know what I mean? He's throwing up, Kev.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was never grossed out by that because, of course, I'm in dad mode. I'm cleaning up. I'm doing the whole thing, and I feel like there's so many natural things. So you think describe to the audience what's happening. Where's the toilet now?
The toilet is here, so you're kind
Okay.
of like holding him over the toilet.
Sure.
Like he's like planking in midair, and then you're just kind of holding him with your dad's strength.
Because I think a lot of I imagine, and how Jen does it, from what I understand, right? Because this is a solo thing, obviously.
Of course.
Is that she'll put him on the toilet, you know what I mean, in the public restroom, sit on it and do it or whatever. And like,
Yeah.
that's just too gross to me. We were in a Target yesterday, and I'd be like, I'm going to be damned if anything touches here. And let alone, like, you know, Jen's working with what she knows for how to go to the bathroom. I'm working with what I know as a guy, you know what I mean? And again, no urinal, no
Well,
kid
they
urinal.
don't. She doesn't understand. You know what I mean? The men we can stand.
Right, yeah.
see what I'm saying?
But again, Ben's still, he's tall, right?
Yeah.
But not,
He's
you
not
know,
that tall.
Yeah.
So no, pass me Annabelle.
Yeah, of course.
What I do is I do the keytar method, where I hold him like this. Right? I'm holding him like this and letting him pee into the toilet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was
Like-
not that far up.
yeah.
Holy
No,
shit.
yeah.
Do you understand that you are doing irreparable damage to your child by doing this? He's never going to be able to pee in public without
What do
you
you
holding
mean?
him like this.
It's a fun game for him.
He's going to be like,
He's not touching
he's
the
going to be one of those
disgusting
kids that has to
toilet
run home to pee every single time.
No.
That you can hold him.
He pees so good at home. He pees so good at home. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
My favorite comment is Michael just writes odd.
It is odd.
Odd.
Just
I
say,
get it.
like, he'll be fine.
I get it. I mean, look, I get
But I
it.
don't want him touching it. It's gross.
Oh, so that's what you're afraid of. It's just him touching it.
Yeah, because I know he's going to touch the seat and everything else.
But
And then,
public.
then even to wash his hands, he's too short for the
Yeah.
things. So then I'm keytarring him to that. No, thank you.
Well, that's fine.
You know what I mean? Because
Keytar.
then he's getting his little sternum in the all wet and disgusting, and some morons have been spitting all over the sink.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
People spit on these things.
Oh, you haven't seen the Target sinks lately?
Well,
Yeah,
Target's
people
a
do
different
spit on
vibe.
seats.
That's where I mean that
People
I'm
definitely be
not,
spitting
I'm not
on
in
those
Nick
things.
the,
The Target-
Greek's fantastic bathroom.
The
All right.
Target bathrooms in San Francisco are
Scooby Five, I'm sorry.
are
Says
not
my
fun.
dad did this to me, and I'm only able to pee on once a year when I visit him. Cameron Kennedy, you're telling me your dad's never did the.
I don't.
All right, when you start saying it like that, maybe there is an issue. But eventually, he'll be tall enough to use the urinals.
Well, you know, it's just I don't. You have a memory like an elephant, right? And so I don't. My earliest memories, I have like visions of when I was a kid, like maybe going shopping. I'm sitting in the cart, you know, the opposite way. Maybe the toys that really kind of ring out. But for the most part, I don't remember my childhood that much, right? You, I feel like, are one of those rare brains that remembers what it's like being in utero.
In the womb.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you remember all of this stuff. So I'm sure at some point, all of us had the keytar method. Like my dad, we talked about this before. Our dad's from the same generation. Kids were weird. I don't think they wanted to interact with us that much. I'm not even sure my dad wanted to have kids back in the day. But so I'm sure when he had to help me pee, it was the most awkward thing humanly possible. In fact, I have no memories of my dad ever helping me pee. One time he did teach me how to wash my hands, which I remember, and then he also taught me how to cup my hands if I needed to get water.
Oh, that's nice.
From like a sink.
Oh, okay. It took me a long time to get that one.
He was like, yeah, if you ever need water, it's like, this is not the best place for it. Wash your hands real good, and then turn it to cold. Wash your hands real good, and then you can cup your hand a little bit and pour water in it. I was like, wow, and I still use that technique to this day sometimes. Wow. Very cool. Thanks, Lou. Appreciate it.
Good job, Lou.
Ben's gonna be using the keytar method one day.
Yeah.
For himself. He's gonna figure it out.
Cole, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's true.
We gotta make sure we're aiming the right way there.
That's true.
I'm just saying it had to. It's disgusting, and I'd rather do this than have him be disgusting.
I think he'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine too.
I mean,
and he's got no potty problems.
Because I'm saying he'd be fine if he touched the Target toilet.
Would I be fine?
I mean, why don't you bring like alcoholic wipes or something? I think we'll
all agree in 2.5 years between me, Jen, and Ben, I've made the most sacrifices. And so if I'm asking for one thing here,
100%.
And that's not to have his hands all grubby with toilet germs from Target. People shit in the urinals at Target and Walmart,
Have you seen this?
I've done it.
Yeah, me.
Yeah,
that's an old Greg story. When I was a little kid, I had to shit.
I will say that the Target specifically in San Francisco, the bathrooms are in disgusting state of disrepair.
Come on, man.
For a lot, a modicum of issues, for a lot of issues that the city's facing right now. So I don't begrudge you. Like I don't like going to the bathroom.
No,
Target bathroom these days.
You never know what you're gonna get.
And even in the urinal, I'm like I don't want to turn my back on anyone that might be doing God knows what's in there. So
what about like an alcoholic wipe? Like that doesn't like quell your fears.
Well, that's the other problem. It's the other problem with Target bathrooms. And again, when I'm managing a Target, I will fix this.
Thank you.
So
this is the platform you're running on.
Correct. As your nominee for Target manager, City Target, I'll start with the City Target, and then eventually,
you gotta start. Yeah, come on now.
Upgrade to the Sparrows. I do say that the Target, like the sinks themselves, always out of soap. Mm-hmm. The sink doesn't really work right. Mm-hmm. And then you have the hand dryer. You can't. It's not a sanitary environment.
Bring the alcoholic wipes. Does that not?
I mean, I got a bag full of stuff.
I like how you say alcoholic wipes. Like they have a problem. We got to talk about. Like we got to have a intervention with the alcoholic wipes.
I do. That just wouldn't work for your brain. You'd be like, he just needs to fully.
I mean, his ass is dirty then still too.
Yeah, because again,
like think about you're thinking of an adult man ass like yours.
Yeah.
Sitting there on the thing in the right spots. I'm talking about. Imagine Kermit the Frog sitting on the toilet. You go to the next one. You know what I mean? Where he's real close to the rim and all this, and it's just
so
like
small. And he might fall in.
Too much. And like, don't get me wrong. This luckily doesn't happen often. We have the portable potty we carry with us.
Okay.
Little one you put a bag in. Lots of times you'll drive into a Target, a hike or whatever, and you'll see the Millers in the back of the car, Ben just peeing in the little thing there, hanging out. You know what I mean? Having a great time.
Yeah.
And that's the perfect setup. That's how it should be.
Interesting.
I've thought about using it. I haven't yet.
Yeah, I don't think the bag's big enough.
It's gonna get there one day.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna portable toilet technology.
Do you ever want to do like camping with me? Want to go camping?
Like how hardcore of camping?
Like hardcore. Like
no,
you got to dig a hole. Camping.
No.
I don't want to do that either.
Jen suggests that stuff sometimes. You know my wife.
Yeah.
We took the day off on Friday. Mm-hmm. Lovely, amazing.
That's beautiful.
Exactly. I'm taking my SGF day. She works a 4-day work week, which is just amazing for their company. We shouldn't look into that. And I wake up, we go to breakfast, and then I look at the calendar. She's putting on Jen takes Greg hiking.
Oh fuck!
Come on, man. Is this our day or your day? You know what I mean? And so I struggle on. I do the fucking hike, of course.
How long are you hiking for?
Oh, dude, it was like 2 hours.
Okay.
And I was like, "You're playing Diablo when we get home." And I was thinking that she fell back in love with Diablo, so it all worked out. But you know what I mean?
I have, thankfully, for the time being, D and I have a schedule now on the weekends where I predominantly spend Saturday and Sunday during the day relaxing because I'm doing shows every night. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, she is fine because she used to do the thing where she's like, okay, you can do comedy, but like you have to spend time with me, and I want a full day with you. So she'd wake me up at 8:00 in the morning after I'd gone to bed at 2:00 in the morning Friday night. A little bourbon involved potentially, and after a while, she just got so tired of me like just not being present that she's like, what if I just let you sleep till 10? I'm like, what if? Right? What fucking if? And now she's on my schedule. I'm like, yeah.
You won.
For now. Lord knows what the future has.
How intense are these hikes?
2 hours, Roger. How fucking
But like,
intense
are we
do you
going
think
like uphill most of the time? Or
this one was intense. This was a more
Why?
intense
I'd be
one.
like, no.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I love a good hike because like I feel like I've fallen in love with I just like the idea of going outside and like clearing my mind.
Go fucking park.
See,
and drink a
I
beer.
think, and I've talked to Jen about this.
Yeah.
That's the big difference between her and I.
Yeah.
She loves, because she goes outside and clears her mind. When I am given that, I sit there and I'm like, I should be writing this email. I should be doing this. I should be playing this game. When I get back, all I do is focus on the things that I could be using these 2 hours for, other than
Same thing with a
physical
haircut.
exercise. Exactly. Just like a
Interesting.
haircut. Yeah.
So you're unable to kind of disconnect.
Right.
Is there not something that you can do that's fully outside of this that like you're like, hey, this is my activity that I just let go?
I mean, games, right?
Other than games.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I connect to work and stuff. I mean, like, there's nothing. You got no activity. I know. But I'm saying, you got no activity. You got nothing that you do.
Well, you play
I
with.
mean, I
the
enjoy
kid.
being a father.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
you take him out with the big wheels.
Yeah, we were out
That's nice.
power wheeling around the other day. That was fun.
You have to understand, Roger, that when you hit,
Not criticism. I'm just asking. I want to know.
Right. It sounded like a criticism.
I just think when you're a supercomputer like this, it's impossible to turn it off.
You have to also understand that.
Lemon Benny says, Greg, you got to exercise. We want you around for a while. Well,
That's
Lemon
true.
Benny, come on. Now, you know those last 30 years are garbage. What are we doing? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Uncle
What are
mine
we
lived to
fucking
like
doing?
106, I want to say.
Jesus, no thanks.
Yeah, no
You know what I
thanks.
mean?
I'm good. That's what I'm
Like, and
saying.
that's the thing. You said Uncle Mike?
No, my, Uncle Pat.
I mean, when do you think Uncle Pat was like, man, should have smoked a grit? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Well, I've
What if-
often told you if I lived to 85, I'm starting to smoke again.
Same.
If it's still legal back then,
Yeah.
if they still make
I'm going to
tobacco
start
products,
drooling again.
I am going to
Miss
fucking go straight into reds. I don't give a shit. It's going to be so fun. I tell you what, Raj.
What?
I've been a little vaping a little bit here and there.
Oh,
Okay, well, let's
Nick.
have the conversation.
And I'll tell you
what
what,
type of
man,
vape? Weed vape or
no, not weed vape. Just straight up nicotine vaping.
are we talking about the box mod? Or are we talking
the
about
fucking terrible little tiny
dude.
mint iced boxes? And I've just, cause people
So
are hitting
bad.
them and they smug it, and as a joke.
as a joke? Yeah,
As a
get
joke,
the
as a
best
goof.
nicotine high you've ever had in your life.
As
You're
a
like, holy
goof,
shit!
I'm like, because someone's like, hey, if you want nicotine, just have these little Zen packets.
Yeah.
And I was like, those remind me too much of chewing tobacco. I got a bad, it's always gross.
Yeah.
Like a bad history with those, like uncles that would spit and it was disgusting. So I was like, I'll just hit this vape a little bit, and I totally get it. But dude, this is how bad it's gotten. I go to my local liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
And they're selling them, and I go, I should buy one. No, what the fuck am I talking about?
Yep.
I can't do this. And then I read this shit about popcorn lung.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, well,
Don't do it.
Not doing this shit anymore.
Dude, yeah, no, I used to be a big vapor back in the day when I was like 18, 19. Yeah, until I met probably a year into dating Leanza, where like every time we would like hang out, and we'd take a nap or something, I would wake up and I would just be like, fucking where's the vape? Like, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh shit. So then I just looked at her one day and I threw it away and I was like, I'm never doing it again. Of course, went to parties and then be like, give me your vape, homie. Give me your vape. And then over those years, I stopped doing it.
Don't
So-
vape, kids.
No, I haven't.
Do not vape. I mean, this shit.
I haven't bought one in probably like 5 years, 6 years now. So it's
So
been
you
good.
don't have one on you right now.
But it is like I fight that urge every time I go
Dude.
across the street because it's $20 and it's like fuck yeah, I know I can get the
Here's-
immediate high.
Here's the problem, right?
Yeah.
We're in Punchline, right? And it's packed. Sunday Punchline Showcase is like, it's a wild vibe, right? 90 comics in the back, packed audience, getting hot. And you're like, I'm here, whatever. It's kind of hard to negotiate. And every once in a while, there's a little space right by the bathrooms. Every once in a while, a comic will be like, I'm going to go hit my vape. And I'm like, fuck, that's so cool. Because you can hit it inside and nobody sees you. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
No, don't do
And
it.
I've tried to like, I mean, of course, I'm past it now. I don't really, I'm not doing it. But I still like this weekend on Sunday. I was like, you know what? I have a weed vape. I was like, I want that vibe of like hitting something. Like, let me hit my weed vape and I hit it at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. I had nothing to do that day.
Yeah.
Fucking ruined my entire day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
well,
Just
that's weed.
Yeah, but I know.
Well, so
I know.
like, I don't think the
Wait, why
popcorn
did it ruin
shit
your
is
day?
weed.
Oh,
It's
'cause
kinda
I-
high as fuck.
No.
You're like, "Ugh."
Yeah. Oh, I can't see my hand. No, I just have I just get like a head high and like my head just feels light all day. Like I'm
Yeah,
not high.
I
I'm
don't
just
like
like I'm just like ugh, like I don't feel good right now. And like the entire day I just felt like that. So
The only time I've ever enjoyed weed, this is gonna be the weirdest fucking thing. I did a dispensary show down in the Mission, Mission Cannabis Club. Actually, beautiful dispensary. They have a nice little upstairs space, one of those things where you can smoke and like it's ventilated to a degree.
that's cool.
As ventilated as it can be when 30 people are getting high as fuck watching a comedy show. And I'm not smoking because I was like, I gotta go to another show after this. But inside, you're there for an hour, and I just inhaled a little bit of it. Man, I'm like, oh, I get it now. I'm like, I feel so. I left. I was like, I'm so relaxed right now. I was so relaxed for the rest of the night, but I wasn't like out of my gourd high. It was just enough, just a little bit of it to make me feel like, oh, the anxiety's gone for a little bit. That's kind of cool. It's pretty rad.
Stop vaping, Nick. Stop vaping.
Don't vape, Nick.
Dude, I gotta be
vaping.
honest, it might be a problem.
I know.
It might be a problem.
Yeah, that's how the relapse happens.
And I'm like,
How long have you been since cigarettes?
I think I quit smoking cigarettes. I don't think I smoked at the Ocean Studio. I think I quit smoking at the old spare bedroom.
Yeah.
So it's been years. It's been years.
A lot of
since
years,
I've had
man.
one.
Don't,
But I mean, I
don't throw it away
count
for vape.
I
Don't
count
throw it with
vaping
the
as smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
So this is definitely.
Oh, so you're saying you
It's
don't?
definitely
We've
relapse.
reset it.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, to be fair,
Does Dino?
nothing will ever. Yeah, I've told her.
What does she say about this?
She's like, you're fucking dumb. Why do you do this? Don't do it.
My brother
it's a nicotine addiction.
My brother started smoking cigarettes, and it's like, fuck. How do I can't stop that. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Like,
but here's the
because he's
thing.
going to like art. He's going to like
He
art
looks so
school.
cool.
And my brother always looks so cool too. He has like the dyed hair, and he cut it in like a bowl cut. He's so cool. He's so weird. He's so quirky.
Here's the problem with cigarettes, right? A, they're way cooler than vaping.
Wait, hold on. Everybody get ready to write this down. Breaking news. Here's the problem with cigarettes.
So I'm reading, all this conflicting information about like how bad vapes are for you
Yeah.
and whatnot, right?
So
and there's
new.
literally like people arguing that cigarettes are better for you than vapes, which by
Yeah.
the way, they're both fucking garbage. Don't do this shit. It's bad for you, 100%. But cigarettes undeniably are way cooler.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
It's because when you're hitting a vape, you look dumb.
Yeah.
And so to me, I'm like, I get this. I'm hitting it. It makes me feel good for a second. Then I feel like trash the next day. But when you're smoking a cigarette, man, there's nothing. Have you ever smoked one?
Oh yeah.
Man, there's nothing better than smoking a fucking
Yeah.
cigarette. So that's what I'm really
They cross
worried about
over,
is
right?
the
Yeah,
next
because I would do the vapes, and then I'd be like, a few cigarettes don't count, and then I would say, oh shit, I gotta fully stop.
Yeah, I'm done with vaping
Yeah.
as of last night. I'm done with vaping.
Let's see at the wedding. Let's see at the wedding. Let's see
When
what's
someone
happening.
inevitably has a vape, and you're like, yo, let me-
1:45 in the parking lot. Let's see what.
The problem is this though. Here's the thing: people hit the vape. You hit it 2-3 times, you're done. I'm an ex-smoker, so I'm used to
kill
taking
the cartridge.
drag. And last night I was vaping, and my buddy was like, "Hey, you're gonna fucking hand that back to me?" I was like, because I went up
Damn.
last night and I did well. I
you
was like, I
burn
felt like
you
fucking-
burn their thing, yeah.
And then my lips are burning. It's
Yep.
like, what the fuck's going? Why are my lips swollen? Because the cartridge heats up and
It
burns
leaks.
your lips.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking terrible.
I remember
thing to
I
do.
was so addicted. I mean, I was also underage. I was like 20, 19 or whatever. So I was this is how new this was. Juuls, you can buy it off of eBay. So I was buying like these third-party Juuls off
Great.
eBay and everything, and the
Great.
cartridges totally fake for sure. Like for sure,
Oh,
fake cartridges.
Yeah, you got it. Well,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
like
It's just got
They're
smoke
unregulated.
machine liquid in it.
Have you seen how they make this shit though?
oh, it's awful.
It's terrifying looking.
Yeah.
It's terrifying looking. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. Done. Knock on wood.
That's not wood.
Cardboard made of wood, made of trees.
Well, you're not going to do it anymore, right? That's the past. And we're going to talk about the future.
The future of what, Greg Miller?
Hope. Before we do that, I'll remind you, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you should get the Kind of Funny membership for just $10. You support an 11-person small business here in San Francisco. You get good karma, and of course, you get all of our shows ad-free. You can get your membership on patreon.com/kindoffunny or youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, where you could be watching the show live as we record it as one of your benefits. But guess what? You're not using your membership right now. So here's a word from our sponsor.
We're celebrating Pride Month with a brand new drop designed by Kind of Funny best friend, Cameron French. We have tank tops, t-shirts, crew necks, and more. So whether you're going to the beach or the mountains this summer, we've got you covered. And we're donating a portion of sales to two incredible organizations, Queer Life Space and Denver-based Center on Colfax. Head over to kindoffunny.com/store before the month ends.
Nick,
Yes, sir.
the S means hope.
So I'm told.
Let's talk about Superman.
Woo!
2025.
I'm so excited.
James Gunn's Superman, of course, coming your way July 11th, 2025. Yes, we are almost 1 year to the day away. Almost.
What was it? I'm trying to remember the line, and I apologize, and you'll know this. The best line from Justice League, where Superman finally comes back, and like Steppenwolf says something, and you just hear him off camera be like,
I'm also a big fan of Justice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. This movie sucks.
what was the first part of that line? He's like, I like hope.
I thought it was Truth.
Truth. I like
Yeah,
truth.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
also a big fan of justice.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, that's kind of a
Justice League.
kind of a
Justice
fucking
League,
banger.
bro.
I will never
loved it.
think of Justice League, not think of Joss Whedon, not think of Kevin on In Review finding out what Joss Whedon's name was.
What did he call him? Josh.
Josh
right? He's-
Wheaton or whatever,
Yeah.
and then he got corrected on the first part and then put together that it was another one and started dying.
That's a
It's
good one.
Joss and fell out of the chair. Kevin, you're a national treasure, and I love you. As we record this, of course, live on June 24th, 2024. The city of Cleveland has put up a whole bunch of different photos of David Corenswet filming the one, the only Superman. Kevin,
Cool,
I've put a
let's
whole
take a
bunch of
look.
things in there. Can we start with photo number 1? I called it David Straight On. This is in assets in the thing under topics. You can go all the way down there.
I've only seen pictures of him in like his little underwear.
What?
You only see.
I don't know what this man looks like clothed. Have you not seen these like beach pictures that are going
Oh
on?
no, I mean, like this isn't the first look of the costume. This is
Okay.
remember they did the one where he's putting his boots on and
This
there's
guy's got a
the
schwanz, is what I'm talking about.
he's putting his boots on and there's the purple thing behind him. Remember?
Yeah.
So now they're filming in Cleveland
Dude.
today, and so we're getting actual photos of the Superman suit here, ladies and gentlemen. I assume they will have seen you if you're a podcast listener. So if not, you can click over.
That has to be edited, right? Those colors can't.
No,
be
that's
right.
real.
Those
Those
are in camera.
Go to Superman and Mr. Terrific
Well,
photo number 2. We have a whole
You have
bunch
to
here.
remember.
Oh,
What do you like? What is this response?
I
Is
just
this
love this
positive?
color. I love the color.
This is my biggest. If when they put out the official, and Kevin, feel free just to go through them. I'll call out anything I specifically need. I appreciate you and love you. When they did the initial reveal of him and Roger filmed me, and I was so excited to see it. My problem was putting him into a dirty suit and having the lights off in the room. Because this is what I want to see. I want to see the color. I want to see
But that's the
Superman
thing.
being Superman in Metropolis.
This is the thing you guys have to remember.
It isn't
This
color
is
corrected, I know.
Not necessarily what the final color pass on the suit will look like.
Sure.
Sometimes they make it hyper, blue so that it'll read when you go to color pass. They do, for people who don't know, which I'm sure everyone fucking does because you guys are all on the internet, but they do extensive tests with suits like this, and then they do color passes and they go, okay, this is what we're gonna do. That's why if you ever watch like movies like God, I want to say it was like Pleasantville.
Yeah.
Where it was shot in black and white,
yeah.
but they painted the buildings. Those colors like painted specifically so that it would read as white, but it's a different color. So they do all sorts of crazy shit like that. But
I hear you and I understand you, but I think especially after the reaction of the Snyderverse and where we were, if anything, this is just going to get brighter.
James Gunn isn't stupid.
Yeah.
He knows. He saw the backlash of like, this needs to be dark. This is the darker universe, and everyone being like, that is not necessarily what we want from Superman right now. We want him to, be hope.
Hopeful.
We want him to be the guiding light, and we want his suit to actually be blue and not sort of dark charcoal. I think this is going to be really cool. Yeah. My only feedback with the suit is I just don't love how loose it feels on him.
Throw up
See it
number
again?
1 again.
Yeah, I still don't love that because I'm just so used to it being skin tight. This is if you go to the next one, Kevin. Maybe the next one. Yeah, that looks a
see what
little
you're saying.
Where he's bent, where it's like bent in his
It's
gut
just
there.
very structured and very thick, and so
Yeah.
it looks like a thick wetsuit versus something that allows Superman. You're normally used to seeing sort of more of the physique, but I don't mind it. It looks more like a uniform to me than it does a suit.
But I also feel
and
like
it could
that's gonna be like evened out in post production for sure. I mean, I feel like
I think you're not going to get a shot of him like this, right?
Yeah.
Like everything's shot from a very specific, and I'm sure they have a million different suits of
Well,
whatever.
again, I don't mind the sort of Captain Americaization of
God, look
of
at how
suits.
great that back looks, though.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Can we talk about that for a
Is that
second?
the first
Come
time we've
on.
had like a logo on the cape in live action, or nope? Don't look at me.
Come
oh.
on, man.
I'm
Really?
sorry. I'm
No.
sorry.
Christopher Reeve,
Oh,
Dean
I forgot
Cain.
about that.
Come
I didn't
on.
realize that they had.
Come on,
I don't look at the
man.
back, I guess, too much.
I think it's cool. I'm excited for
fucking
this. I really am. I had a point I was going to make earlier, so I apologize.
sorry.
I lost it. You're totally fine. I lost it. He looks good.
No,
This looks good, but-
I'm very happy.
Who's
with
the
it.
other character?
Mr. Terrific.
That's right.
Yeah, this.
Remember, this is this movie chock full of other superheroes as well, which has people worried. Not me.
I'm not
me?
worried. I'm not worried at all.
No possible way this movie can be bad.
Dude, I got trolled the other day so
Flip
hard
it.
by a freaking 5-month-old April Fool's joke. It was
What?
James Gunn going back and forth on Twitter with Robert Pattinson
Oh.
and him quote unquote quitting because James Gunn doesn't agree with his vision of Matt Reeves' vision of what was. It was a fucking joke.
Oh.
It was this long thread. I was like, no fucking way. And then I got to it and I was like, April Fool's. I was like, April fucking Fool. Take this fucking thing down.
Fuck
It's
you.
fucking June. for
You had
Christ's
your
sake.
moment. It's fucking over. Roger, what do you feel hope when you see this costume?
Oh, I do. I've been watching the new season of My Adventures with. No, is it? My Adventures with Superman?
Yeah, the Jack Quaid one. Yeah, it
Oh
was
my
great.
gosh, incredible! Like that is Leanne's first introduction to Superman. So like
Outrageous.
she gets it.
Awesome.
Now she gets it. Like
Yeah.
I went to when we talked to Jack when he came to the studio. I was like, you're like the representation of Superman to her now. Like
Yeah.
like she understands this and she loves it because it is such a left turn for a lot of the characters that I've been showing her. So like for me, I'm like falling in love with Superman all over again. So I'm so excited to see just again, seeing this in camera, like how bright that is, like
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to tone that down at all. Like it's gonna be so bright, it's gonna be so bold, and man, I am interested to see how deep in the weeds we get, though. I think that is my only worry. I think
Deep in the weeds of what?
with the fact that we have so many characters, the fact that potentially we have Lex Luthor and maybe another villain and maybe Brainiac,
Yeah,
like
but it's Lex Luthor's Holt, right?
yeah, which is
gonna
cool.
be so fucking
Oh, it's
good.
gonna be great. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot going on here, and I don't think it's gonna get lost. But it is his first go around, and I'm a little bit scared that James Gunn might be a little bit like, oh, I have all these playthings that I want to play with, and let me just start playing with them immediately. So
I don't think so. I think James Gunn is smart. I think that the people that put him in charge of this are like, let's have a plan. Let's use this to introduce a bunch of characters that we can build out later.
Yeah.
And let's lay a foundation. This is going to be a foundational movie. And I think it's going to be a foundation for like the next 10 years of whatever they're going to do with their cinematic universe.
For sure.
I think it's very smart.
Yeah, if you're not following as closely as maybe we are, ladies and gentlemen, off of IMDb, remember you have listings for Supergirl, Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Pa Kent, Perry White, Cat Grant, Metamorpho, Maxwell Lord, Mr. Terrific, Steve Lombard. So it's like Eve Tessmacher. So you're really into a bunch of different heroes there. I still stand by that. My thought is,
You don't know. There might be flashes. You might see pictures of people.
I think I don't think it'll be pictures of. I think you have a
News
montage
things.
of some kind that is Superman being Superman. And
It
that's
starts with him
shooting
being,
around, helping people out, getting these other heroes out of a jam. Guy Gardner be like, I didn't need you at all. See, but thanks for anything, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
His arms are huge.
Fucking Henry Cavill. Yeah.
I think that too. I don't think you're going to see a sort of Spider-Man 3
yeah.
thing going on where we just shoehorn in 5 or 6 different, I guess in Spider-Man 3 is 2 villains, but still, I don't think we're going to do that. I think there's going to be one main villain, and then we're going to set up Lex Luthor as a bad guy for the whole thing, and he's going to be the overarching guy, and then we're going to bring in Brainiac here and there.
Yeah. It inspires me that he's building out, because it was a few weeks ago when they announced like the Daily Planet cast members, as you said, like that's exciting to me, of like, oh, we're gonna have not only his super friends but also his actual work friends, which
And I think they'll actually deliver on that.
Yeah.
Because obviously they've done that in other ones. And then you all forgot that Morpheus, what's the actor's name?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne was Perry
yeah.
White in it. Nobody remembered
everyone's
that.
like,
but
yeah.
me,
They had all the characters there.
Yeah.
They were all there.
Yeah, they were there, all right. Yeah,
We
Steve
just
Lombardi
didn't-
too. He was
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah,
oh shit, he was.
Yeah, yeah.
We just didn't do too much with them.
No.
But that's what's, I don't know. That's what I'm more excited for is let's take our time with this. Obviously we're going to support this film. I really do hope that it is sort of like going to present to us what the next 10 years of not the DCEU anymore. What are they
DCU.
called?
They dropped the E.
Thank
It's
you.
no longer extended. It's just there. Don't worry about it.
Also, shout out to My Adventure with Superman. It's really fucking good.
So good.
Really good.
So good.
So I know we're getting first blush of this suit, but where do you think it ranks among the
This is
other
a great topic.
Superman
this.
suits?
I am, of course, always very partial to the old school Christopher Reeves Superman suit.
Sure.
Largely for nostalgia. It was the first superhero movie I ever saw. I was completely mystified by when I watched Superman the first time. Going back and watching it now, a lot of interesting choices made in that film.
Yeah.
Namely the montage. But this dude, I mean, come on, dude. That's so sick.
He just has the look too, man.
He has the look. Of course, iconically, I don't know if you know the trivia behind this, but like when he came in, he was not. I mean, Christopher Reeves he's a big guy.
Yeah.
I think he's 6'3". He's probably about your height build, but he was skinny, and so he had to put on like. It was one of the first times someone had to be like, oh, I got to put on like 20 pounds of muscle for it. So I think he did like Pilates and a bunch of other crazy like.
They did a bunch of
training
videos
and shit.
following him as he did it.
And he's actually pretty fucking not jacked in how you would think, because in the 80s, of course,
Different time of jacked, yeah.
different time. Then you had Arnold Schwarzenegger come in, and that was sort of like this is what someone should look like. And I think they even screen tested Schwarzenegger for it, but his accent was way too thick for it back then. But yeah, Christopher Reeves will always sort of be like my number one like.
Well, here's the
quintessential
thing, and I don't mean you're not gonna just save you in the comments. Christopher Reeve.
Reeves,
George Reeves. It's confusing
My
since they're so close or whatever. Kevin, I dropped in assets and then as a bonus on the doc. Like, the Chris Reeve suit is just so good that even Henry Cavill testing in it looks fucking badass.
Oh, is that real?
Yeah.
But that's how
Holy
much
shit.
smaller Cavill is than Reeve.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Isn't that
I don't think
crazy?
he gets credit
Wait,
for that, obviously.
Christopher Reeve,
George Reeves.
George Reeves, Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but, I mean, Chris. And
That's
I mean,
wild.
this to a degree also. I'm putting another one in there, Kevin, of him just. I fucking pasted it in the wrong.
Fucking
way.
Zack Snyder desaturating that
Look at
beautiful
the fucking
suit
difference. Can you
pisses
A/B
me off
test this
so
one more
much.
time? Can you go back to Christopher Reeve? Look at how beautiful that was.
It's so beautiful. Just like, hey,
I was. I mean, obviously, look, like this was a different time. If we go back to Chris Reeve for a sec, there, you can see the seams in the costume and all that stuff. And there was always moments where he was like sweating through it and shit like
that was in the fucking test footage they put out.
No, there's moments in Superman where you can see him lift something up and he's got pit stains.
Not true.
All right.
Craig will never believe it.
But I mean, it's a fucking leotard, you know.
But it's awesome, right? Like I still feel that like this, of course, is something they then copied with Dean Cain.
I love the neckline of this too. It's like slightly open. It didn't look so good on Henry Cavill. I didn't love the neckline of that one, but I do love.
I think Christopher Reeve just looks dynamite in it. I wish we weren't such cowards to go back to it, because I do like everything I'm getting right now out of the James Gunn suit.
Sure.
But the problem I have with it, of course, and this is not seeing the footage, is I'm not a New 52 guy, and it's very New 52-y. And like it's more armory with the collar and the thing. Like, even though it makes absolutely no sense, I love the idea of having this suit underneath a dress shirt. And this is never fucking do that here. You can't do that.
I will say that the choices having absolutely zero context for why he's wearing this suit. I like that it looks more like a spacesuit.
Sure.
I like that it looks a little bit more structured. And production-wise, I like that he doesn't... David Corenswet. Thank you. I'm sure I'll know his name after the movie. I'm sure he'll be huge after this. Corenswet. I like that he doesn't necessarily probably then have to feel the need to be incredibly jacked out of his fucking gourd. Because you don't really even... I mean, we don't really need that for a Superman, right? His physique is not necessarily the thing that you... I guess it is sort of something, a hallmark of him, but he doesn't need to be so sweaty, jacked, because he is Superman. He can play it a little bit more subdued. So I think that is cool, but I will always just be partial to
it's
that.
Back to the Christopher Reeve thing, right? Where like, yeah, he went and put all this muscle on, but you don't sit there and think of him as jacked, right?
No.
He's not fucking Chris Hemsworth, right? He's not fucking Hugh Jackman doing all this stuff. And like, yeah, I think, again, you do that. It's very similar to the story out of The Boys. I think
Anthony Starr.
Yeah, when he's talking
like,
to Jensen Ackles, right? Where Jensen Ackles is like working his ass off and eating all this egg yolk and doing all this stuff. And Anthony Starr's like, why didn't you just have him put muscles in the suit? Because that's what he did. And it's like, hey, what a better way to balance your life and not have to just eat like The Rock forever.
Because that is very, very difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to take some supplements. Yeah.
I like the Superman and Lois suit a lot. Oh, well, that one too. That's
of course, Brandon Routh in the Kingdom Come Superman.
Yeah,
suit.
that one.
Thank you, Kevin,
that's
for pulling that
badass. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, that
really?
one's from the show. Yeah,
that's sick.
No, that one's really cool. I don't love the neckline on it, but I think it's great either way. That's like a nice way for him to come back.
The neckline's a great throwback to the Christopher Reeve one, right? Because of course this is the continuation of Superman Returns, which is the continuation of the Superman 1 and 2 storylines, right? So like doing that and having that throwback is so great.
That's sick, actually.
Always
I'm not
heartbreaking.
gonna lie, this looks rad.
Always heartbreaking then to think, and like it was when we were watching Crisis on Infinite Earths and this happens and it's like Brandon Routh's back as Superman. That's fucking incredible, yada yada. And then I had that realization of like, oh man, if Christopher Reeve was still alive, he would have, and obviously hadn't had this accident, he would still be in it. In the way like Michael Keaton's reliving being 89 Batman. I'm like, that sucks that we got robbed of that.
And they had Kevin Conroy in that too as well, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I want to say that Reeve was older than. I want to say he was older than Michael Keaton, though, so he would have been.
Yeah, he would have been, but I think it's the same. But I mean, like them putting the gray in his hair here, obviously, is them emulating Kingdom Come. But I think you could see it very, very obviously is that they would have done that here too.
What about the Superman Returns suit, like the original?
I'm dropping in there as a bullet point there. Kevin is your last one. Sorry, I actually completely forgot about Brandon Routh in this one. My apologies, everybody. I know, right? Outrageous for me.
That suit is very. I'll be real with you. I think that's the horniest suit.
The Brandon Routh one?
The Superman Returns suit, yeah.
I agree.
You'll see in a second.
I agree.
The horniest?
Horniest.
You think so?
Let's see how horny. Let's rank the horniness, honestly. That's
very low cut. Like everything looks a little low cut on it because it's from like the
2000s.
2000s.
The undies are low.
And you're like, a little low. Like if he was just wearing those undies, you'd be like, I'm seeing a little pube right now. Look at how, oh God, everything's a little too small. You know what I mean?
including the logo. Including the logo.
Yeah,
it's a little
way too small.
Tiny.
Honestly, I think this might be one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I think this is like top 2 for me. Like I maybe it's because I grew up around this era. Even though I didn't watch the movie, I didn't really I wasn't into Superman at that time. But like this to me feels like Superman. I just don't. Now looking back at it, it's like the raised logo. I don't know if I'm
I hate, and that's my thing where it's like there's a lot there's a lot to like and enough to dislike here. Where again, I hate the maroon red they're using here on Brandon Routh. Right, like I wish it was poppy red. I hate the I hate the superhero emblems that are the raised 3-dimensional. It looks like when you get
Very
a
much
cake,
of the time,
when
yeah.
you get a cake and they put the cake thing in the middle of the frosting, it's like, okay, again,
Can't
I don't
eat
know
that.
what it would be like. You know what I mean? What are we doing with this kind of thing? And then I hate when the movies cheese it and try to act like that would then be underneath somebody's suit. Like,
Sure.
no, you wouldn't have that
Yeah.
there. You'd have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that weird
3-dimensional.
thing where it's like Christopher Reeve, his one is flat, and like that's to me is like it's too flat. You know what I mean?
It's a
like
little-
sure.
it's a- I get it. Yeah.
I like the Corenswet one. I think that is like the perfect middle ground. I
His-
wish we had a better photo.
Is,
Officially.
if I were to Andy Cortez this,
Yeah.
right, you know, where he kind of goes in and photoshops it, I would make his logo a little less bright
Yeah.
for Reeve and a little smaller on the chest because it is a little too. It doesn't make like when the logo is that big, it actually decreases how big your chest looks. And he was a big dude. Also, dude, Brandon Routh is a big dude too. I remember meeting him at E3. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude, you're big.
Holy shit.
I always felt so bad that he got that kind of a bit of a raw deal. I
Oh,
thought it was
dude, a
so cool
huge
that
raw
they
deal.
brought him back for Kingdom Come.
Yeah, it was
Because I thought he was a really good Superman.
because he was playing a different character in like the CW.
Yeah, he was the
Yeah.
Atom. In
Yeah,
the,
so then they were able to do a multiverse thing, which was really
Yeah,
cool.
look at how dude, fucking Chris Reeve looked great.
Holy
First
shit.
off, that if I could look like Chris Reeve, I mean, I probably could if I actually worked out. But let's be honest, I'm not. Come on, I'm not gonna ever fucking look like that guy. He looks so good.
Also,
Look at how
one
good he
thing to
looks.
know is Henry Cavill's 6'1" and Christopher Reeve was 6'4".
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's just a big dude, man.
Yeah.
That's great. Look how badass he is.
throw me up just the solo of Henry Cavill. Because again, Snyderverse, whatever. Check your feelings at the door. Henry Cavill has such a good look to being
He
Superman.
does.
He looked like
Such a
Superman.
good look to be Superman.
He looked good.
And again, like I would have loved this.
See-
This isn't what I would have done for the DC universe I want. But
It's so close though. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's
Like
not that bad at all,
if we up the saturation and we remove the 7-Eleven logo behind it, like it's there. I mean,
you want to pay for the sequel or what, bro?
I think it has like a great Kryptonian look that the other ones don't have, and it's a really good suit. It's just
Again,
exaggerated.
in canon, in the movie, there's a reason why his suit looks that way.
Yeah.
Because all the other Kryptonian like suits, that's
Which
what
is
they
great.
look like. I love that. I love
Yeah.
when there's that tie-in.
Hey, here's
to-
an explanation.
to ground it just a little bit, and of course that the Snyderverse was a lot more sci-fi based. It was a lot more like he was an alien, he was out of place, and all that stuff. And I loved all those elements of that movie. I stand by the fact that Man of Steel was a good film, and I'm just the old Tarantino adage that I've brought in a lot, where it's like it was such a good film that I'm mad it wasn't great.
yeah.
And that is that movie where that should have been fucking great. Oh.
and ladies and gentlemen, welcome Henry Cavill.
That'd be amazing. I tell you what, though, all of those movies have touchstone moments of greatness in them. Like every Superman, we're very fortunate to have had that, right? Like I think back even to like the Brown and Routh Singer Superman, and the movie itself was a bit of a dud, largely because you brought the kid in. That wasn't really for that
'cause nothing
dynamic.
happened.
Wasn't fun. It was very long, laborious. The plot line was like we're creating more.
We're doing
real estate,
Superman 1 again.
which
It's
makes
all
no
about real
sense.
estate.
Because you're like, we're going to make more real estate, which would devalue any other real estate holding ship. It doesn't make sense. Also, you're clearly going to jail.
I want to land
But
in
man, I
international
tell you
waters.
what, you want to talk about a way to build fucking comeback for a character we haven't seen on screen in 20 years. That sequence,
The plane.
the fucking plane,
Yeah.
is so well done. When like Lois looks out and just sees the flash, and knows she's gonna be okay. God damn! I'm like, bro, what are we doing? How did you fuck up the rest of this movie so badly? You had it there. It was so good.
And then he gets on the plane, he congratulates them on surviving,
Yeah.
goes to leave, and comes back and delivers the same line from when he saved her in Superman 1. Like, fuck yeah.
We're gonna get a good Superman movie.
I know.
You know,
And then, of course,
I
You said
hope
there's,
so.
there's no way it can be bad.
Yeah, I know. It's
But
the
I mean-
problem with all these is there's no way they can be bad, and then it's just the weight and expectation of it.
Yeah.
You know, now I Man of Steel,
Especially the beginning of something like this.
Man of Steel did itself no favor by having like the best trailer of all
this is
time.
the best fucking trailer of all
Yeah.
time. We used to rank those trailers at IGN internally. I think we may have even done a video of that, but like the trailer for 300 was like number one for the longest time. And then when Man of Steel came out, and it's that shot of him with the
Powering
voiceover.
up. Yeah.
Come on, dude. Yeah, I would
That in
just
a
cry
theater?
watching it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it was amazing. But for this, see, I have no expectation of this. I think it's going to be enjoyable, but I have no investment in it like you do.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very good thing. I think
Yeah,
that
for sure.
DC has done what they have done, or Warner Brothers, I should say, has done what they have done with the DC movie properties, and it has soured it just enough for me to be like, James Gunn now has a lot of leeway with what he wants to do, and I think he's got a big enough pedigree that I'll go in. I'm expecting something on the level of Guardians 1 because I think he's probably going to put a lot of effort into this. And Guardians 1 was good. It was fun. It was a good movie. That's all I want. Yeah, he was.
Big,
look how fucky he got big. You know what? He got fucking big. Those are some big shoulders, dog.
Yeah,
to your point, totally lost in the costume.
Oh yeah,
you don't see. I mean, it's a skin tight leotard, but it doesn't look like he's fucking.
Well,
insane.
I mean, that's the thing is like you'll see, and you hear about like Hemsworth, right? Would work out like the fucking demon for like 2 or 3 of those shots where he would be sleeveless.
Yeah,
so you saw those big arms, and then in Thor 1, of course, and I think the other Thors, you'd see like the metal would go on it.
Yeah.
We can't have. Come on, dude, you can't be walking around. with an extra 10 pounds of water weight and muscle on you.
Yeah. For this movie,
10 pounds.
I would be very happy if it's just. My base expectation is that it's a really good episode or few episodes of a cartoon. Like, I just want a solid Superman story that understands Superman, and we're having fun. It doesn't have to be the greatest thing in the world. I just want you to fucking nail this character. I want me to be able to show this to people that don't know Superman and be like, this is why you should care about this guy. Like, he makes you happy. He makes you give you that warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart when you watch him do and save everybody in Metropolis. Like, that's what I want.
Make him charming.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right?
thing,
Like, I need
dude.
the Clark and Lois dynamic to be great.
It gotta be.
I want to blush a little bit when I see them flirt. Like, I want that. Like, I want that relationship to be so good.
I like Cavill. I like him. I just never felt like he had any chemistry with anyone else in the movies. I didn't feel like I thought Amy Adams was doing basically all the heavy lifting in those scenes. And I just feel like, you have to have a character that's just like kind of innocent and charming is what Superman should be.
Yeah.
He's a Boy Scout. He's the guy that you're just like, we can always count on this guy. And he's a little bit of a dork, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what you got to have.
And I think that's what it's going to be with him hopping around to the other heroes and helping them out. I heard you need help. Oh, I'm fine. Get out of here. We got it, Superman. Blah, blah,
Right.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
cool work.
And then him and Mr. Terrific doing whatever they're doing.
Really quick though, I want to go back to the CW one. The what's his name?
Christ on Infinite.
No, the
Brandon Routh?
No, the
Dean.
the
Tyler
Kane.
Hoechlin.
Yeah. I like that suit a
never
lot. I
watched
think it's a little bit too like formed. Like it has too many like shadows and shit like that.
Yeah.
But on screen, it looks really good. So yeah.
I like that he had a different one for Supergirl because it's a different.
Yes,
in the
it had the
multiverse,
strap or whatever.
I like that one more than this
Oh, really?
one.
Interesting.
This one, I think they go a little over the top with like giving the shading to the muscles, and
I
it's like,
agree.
well, I can tell that's not real.
Yeah.
And I don't mind you not being yacked, but
Yeah.
it's like
But talk about a good Superman. He's a great Superman.
he's a great Superman.
He is so fucking good and super underrated. That show is good. I have only seen one season, and in the first season, the kids, his little kids, are playing a video game. They're playing Recore. That blew my mind. That game was way old by the time that show came out.
Right,
so
supposed to have been cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't think this is the greatest shot of it.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I'm not knocking you, Kevin. I mean, clearly this is another candid caught
That's
or
like a
whatever.
production
I thought
shot,
it looked
yeah.
good on camera in terms of what was going on.
I like that look too. I like the look of a suit that feels like you could actually get into if like it's a battle suit, you know?
Yeah.
Like that, like it's you ever seen someone put like a bulletproof vest on where they put it over and you're like, and you're ready to go out there. I love
Bad
suits
Boys.
like
I've seen
that.
them all.
Bad Boys rocks, dude. Hey, how happy are we that Bad Boys did well in the box office?
Back. See, I think
That
that
looks
looks better than
That
him.
looks better.
I look like he's about to bust out a cigarette on the other shot. You know what I mean?
Maybe it
I forgot
was,
about
I
Superman.
don't judge. We vape.
we
Don't vape. We don't vape,
Stop
ladies and gentlemen.
vaping.
So cool.
It is so cool. You have a vape on you right now?
You want to hit one? Want to rip one?
Don't do this. Don't
What if
do
we
this.
just became vapors in the studio? I just pissed him
No.
off.
Dude.
No, don't do it. It's bad.
My idea, what's it called? My image of being a Gen Zer would never leave me. People would just like, fucking, he's vaping on screen.
Oh my gosh.
He's the worst.
There he is, George Reeves.
There it is.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, it's
Great Superman suit. Great Superman, George Reeves.
Never really saw too much of that. It was
Yeah.
a little too old for me.
Sure.
Back when I was a kid, I was like, I don't get it. And then Christopher Reeve came on. And
Did you ever watch the I Love Lucy episode with him?
I do think I have seen
That's a
that,
great one. Yeah.
That was always like,
This is your wife? Yeah. And they call me Superman. Fucking great line. Gets her.
Lucy, a handful.
You know, I Love Lucy.
No,
the
I know
show.
that show. I didn't know that. So would he play Superman or was he actually Superman in
He
the show?
plays himself,
Okay.
George Reeves. And I
Gotcha.
think it's that. God, you're testing me. It's been a while. It's a great episode. Go watch it. I believe it's Little Ricky's birthday party, and Lucy makes the promise that Superman will show up to it. But then, of course, like
Classic Lucy.
she hits up. Yeah, she hits up. I believe Desi and Ricky, and is like, "Hey, can you get him?" And he can't do it. So she dresses as Superman, and then her plan is like she's gonna go out on the ledge and like walk by the window, but she gets stuck out there and yada yada. And then George Reeves does show up in the Superman suit. It's
That's
fucking
cool.
awesome. It's great.
That's awesome.
It's really sweet. Also, I liked Hollywoodland. Did you ever watch that movie?
No, I haven't.
It's the story of George Reeves.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck plays George
I
Reeves.
did see that.
And
I saw
that
that clip. I saw
yeah.
that clip.
That was
yeah.
with him and the gun.
Yeah.
Where the kid pulls the
That's
gun on
great.
him or whatever. Yeah, it's funny of watching that obviously years before the Snyderverse and already being a Ben Affleck fan because of Kevin Smith and being like, God, he's such a good looking Superman.
Yeah.
Because he filled out that fucking suit. And then like Batman, and I'm like, can't go bad.
Can't go
He's gonna make his own Batman movie too.
I was so
fair.
hype about that
To be
too.
fair, he was a good Batman.
He was.
Was a good Batman. I stand by
he was
that.
good
I also,
Bruce.
over the weekend, I think it's because we had talked about Ben Affleck last podcast. Kind of had him in the
Daredevil.
brain. Then The Accountant popped up on
Oof,
Netflix,
yeah,
and I was like,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch this again. I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a weird ass movie. He plays a very, very complex character in it, and a lot more complex than you would think from a movie about a guy that's an accountant that quote kills people. It's interesting. I can't. I didn't finish it last night. I think I have 30 more minutes left, and I think I remember how it ends. So I'm excited to see if A, I'm right, and B, if the ending is the way I remember it. It's a cool ending.
Look at that. That's a Superman right
That's a
there.
Superman.
He's a
Again,
big dude,
not the
too.
best screenshot of it. Not all blaming Kevin. I know you're Googling find it, but like the fact he's wearing his cape, like what
What's going
chaps. I know that's about but like
That's cool.
it's a good movie.
Hell yeah.
All right, we did a lot of work here.
Good day.
July 11th, 2025. Superman.
I saw you. Couldn't help but see that you had Gene Wilder Googled on your one of your tabs.
No.
You know,
I just watched the documentary on Netflix. That's why I asked.
so the reason this comes up is I forget. It's way earlier. I think Roger was talking. He mentioned another older actor.
Yeah, Gene Wilder.
Not Gene Wilder.
No.
Yeah.
Not Christopher Reeve. Way before that, when we were miles away
I'm
from this
sorry.
podcast.
Sorry.
He mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh, this is a good point to bring up the fact that I have more evidence
Oh no.
that I've hopped universes."
Sure.
Because I'll tell
Go
you
for
what,
it.
in my universe, Gene Wilder was very much alive,
Really?
and it commented on the new fucking Wonka whatever with Timothy Chalamet. It's so.
was that recent?
That's how recent this
See.
motherfucker was still alive.
See,
And then I
again.
got to fuck out. I was on Max last night trying to do some work on my computer. I'm like, put some dumb on. And I saw this documentary and I'm like, oh, and it was about, and they're like, oh, but like, well, he died or whatever. I'm like, the fuck he did. The fuck he did die.
Now-
and I looked into it. I'm like, this motherfucker died in 2016.
You'll remember.
2016.
Yeah, it was a while
that
ago,
did not happen in my universe. Gene Wilder is still very much kicking.
Talking about the
talking about
Timothy
fucking
Chalamet.
Willow Wonka.
Now, I don't think you're misremembering this because remember he did throw shade at Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
When Johnny Depp's Wonka happened, he was like, "I don't think you need to remake that. This is just terrible." And he had some choice words, I think, to say to Tim Burton on that one. Side note: the documentary is really good, and I cried a lot.
Yeah.
Really a lot.
Yeah, in your universe, he had Alzheimer's.
That's
and
really
Alzheimer's.
sad.
He did not have
Really,
that in my
really sad.
universe either.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's
We should
but
kind of merge them.
I will say the story of how he got like into filmmaking, the story of like everything about his early career and his relationship with Mel Brooks and all that stuff is just absolutely.
See, they're making a Spaceballs 2.
Yeah, the quest for money.
Thank God, thank fucking God.
Remember they made the G4 animated show?
No.
Where they made a G4 animated show where they brought back all the alive cast. Fucking awful. Just horrendous show. I remember watching it and I was like, I was so sad because I was so excited for that. I love Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is a classic.
It's amazing.
Well, Bill Pullman's still alive. John Candy's passed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Can't bring him back.
Well,
Mel
they're-
Brooks is still.
Josh Gad is starring in it. I'm like, producing it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I can get
Real
that.
quick,
That'll be
just
something.
to defend myself. I'm sorry. Cameron Kennedy says Greg has come from a different universe at multiple points in time. No, I've come from one different universe. I come here and I tell you the different. You don't have to make fun of me about it. All right. I don't like that this happened to me. That I jumped to your universe.
He's 97.
But I'm here and I'm making the best out of it. All right.
But when did it? We during that podcast, like right before that podcast that happened. When was that podcast where you said that you jumped ship?
It was a while back, a few months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I forget what the number one sign of it was.
It might be happening multiple times because was that before or after Wonka?
Oh no, it was well.
It was after Wonka?
Yeah.
The taste of Coke changed.
That was supporting evidence, but not the main crux of my universe of my jump.
Is it still different?
I mean, I've adjusted to it at this point. I couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? It's like when you wake from a dream and you kind of remember, you have deja vu, and it's like
Sure.
it's there, but you can't get to
Yeah,
what's
you're pulling
happening
for
or
it.
what the difference is. You know what I mean? I try not to fight it.
Yeah, but you
I
find
drive
those
myself
moments.
mad, Kevin.
Did you ever watch that video where the guy like tells you to go to this website and like it generates a code for you, and if that code changes, then you're in a different universe?
I think you sent that to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like a lot of work though.
You
I've
gotta
already done
memorize
it.
The code.
Greg's not doing shit.
It's already done. I jumped. It's no big
You
deal.
figure it out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jump.
Here you guys don't keytar your kids while they pee. You know what I mean? What do you want me to do about it?
That's it. That's what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Kind of Funny
We call it
podcast.
saxophony.
That'd be a totally different. Another episode of Kind of Funny Podcast. Remember, we couldn't do it without you. Please get that Kind of Funny membership on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames or patreon.com/kindoffunny. $10 gets you all of our shows. That's more than 20 episodes of content a week, ad-free. Of course, you get the ability to watch them live as we record them, like Anthony is, like Murder Wiz, Brinkley Studios are, Band of Wrestling. And of course, you get Greg away each and every day. No bucks, no big deal. Of course, you can get it with ads. youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Like, subscribe, share. Podcast services around the globe. Like, subscribe, share, rate, all that jazz. Until next time, remember, Halloween's right around the corner. It's been our pleasure to serve you.